Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Deveci, your host, and welcoming you episode 149. We are in season 5 in the American Business Podcast. Quote of the day: we must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. Okay, great. Well, we have a great guest today in the American Business Podcast. I'm going to invite our guest to our virtual stage and let's get the conversation started. Hello, Colin. Welcome to the American Business Podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate it. How are you? How is your week going so far?
Everything's going very well. It's an incredible year. 2026 is the year of the startup, so we're very excited about that.
Sounds good. Where are you connecting out of?
Out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Sounds great.
You're out of New York. I can see that. Very
Yes, yes, absolutely. So New York is our home, and we are a national business podcast, and we are happy to have you today in the American Business Podcast. Well, we have a lot to cover. Let's get it started, if that's okay. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our viewers and to our listeners?
Yeah, I'm a serial tech entrepreneur. I've been a tech entrepreneur for 30 years. I'm now in multiple industries, including real estate and others, e-commerce and other things. I wrote a book. Took me 10 years, Kevin, to write it, called Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. Became a #1 bestseller, 15 categories on Amazon. It won 39 global awards, more awards than any other book in history for entrepreneurship. And it took a team of 5 people for 2 years. We interviewed over 200 people for this book, but we used lessons from the book and also the interviews to draw conclusions. And we think it's been identified by many as being one of the #1 books out there for helping you to start a business and scale a business and even exit or repeat too. But more people who read this book, generally our average readership is between like 18 and 35. Basically evenly split between men and women too. So it's got a younger readership. It's all about how do you start a business, how do you scale a business, but then how do you exit and how do you repeat too. So that's sort of part of the equation as well. And it's just done very well. We run a website called startup.club, which is a nationally recognized website, top of Google ranking on every article. And I'm looking forward to actually taking this podcast and posting it on startup.club as well. So
Definitely, we welcome it. Absolutely, that's a great idea.
yeah.
And also congratulations with your success and especially
Well, thank
your
you.
published book. Yes, we love published authors. We love published authors in the American Business Podcast. I'm a published author myself, and I know it takes a lot of effort and time to put this together. So this is great that you share
That's
the
really not hard.
information.
It's not easy, is it?
No, it is not
Not easy. But
actually.
if you do type in on Google right now, you're on Google and you type
Uh-huh.
in how to write a best-selling business book, then my article comes up #1. So you'll
That's
see that.
great. Yes, yes, absolutely. This is really educational. Thank you for sharing these insights. Okay, great. Well, how about your career journey? How did you get started? How your career journey has
Started out on the
unfolded
farm.
over the years?
1993. I was on the farm. I went to University of Toronto. I worked on the farms in the summer. At the end of end of my first 3rd year of university, I launched a bulletin board service with my brother. Bulletin board, you probably don't remember that. BBS. It was before the internet, and it was the way people used to connect. And it became the largest, second largest in Canada. But we had to shut it down pretty quickly because something called the internet was taking off. And so we launched the company called Internet Direct, became the largest ISP in Canada. It was actually the 7th fastest growing company in Canada and then the 3rd fastest growing company in Canada. And we took it public. And in 1999, we decided to merge it with a Canadian telecom company. And things were going great. Unfortunately, when we merged it, we agreed to a lockup. And something happened in March of 2000. It was the dot-com crash.
Mhm.
And our stock, my stock, the company that was worth $1 billion, I owned, I think 13 or 14% at the time. And I'm 29 years old. And that company went from $19 a share to what I ended up selling at after my lockup to 6 cents a share.
Wow.
So I had lost almost everything, this billion-dollar company to nothing, and we had spent 10 years building it and 10 weeks screwing up the exit. So that was really the genesis behind Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. It's a book that looks at, in detail, it looks at everything from the start element to the scale, the processes, the systems, to the exit and the timing of exit, and then the repeating that process.
Mhm.
And my brother and I were very frustrated at this time. Like, we'd lost pretty much 98% of our wealth by the time we turned 30. And we decided to double down on what we believed was something called the internet. And so we launched a company called Hostopia, which fast forward 6 years later, we took public. 8 years later, we sold to a Fortune 500 company. And this year we did it for all cash. This time we did it for all cash. We learned our lesson.
Mm,
Back in 2000, it was liquidity or control. Excuse me. Liquidity or control. We had to, we had, we did not have liquidity because we had signed a lockup agreement, and bad things do happen, and they did. Just so you know, we sold Hostopia a month before the Lehman crisis in 2008, and since then I've sold a number of companies, even .club to GoDaddy in 2022, just before the tech wreck of 2023, and I was asked to speak at MIT on this topic of how I could start, scale, exit, repeat so successfully with so many companies and get the timing right. And I'm like literally the worst guy in the world because I screwed it up the most. I literally did. I screwed it up the most because here I was when I was 29 years old, I lost $100 million because I didn't manage the timing right. When things are frothy, that's the time to exit. That's part of my DNA now on start and scale and exit is to think about, the exit as part of the process when you go through start and scale as well. And that's why we launched the book and it's done extremely well. We're very proud of it. We did an official workbook for start. So you can buy a
mhm,
workbook, which includes it's like an old fashioned like workbook, with you know, pages and like, you can use a pen and paper and fill it out and everything. Um,
mhm,
but then we also embedded GPTs, mini AI programs throughout the book with QR codes to help you launch your business. And then we did one for start. And then today, literally today, this came out on Amazon. Scale. This is the demo version. This is not the real version. The demo
mhm.
version. Scale came out today, and we spent 2 years working on the Scale book. It was tough, but I'm telling you, you want to scale a business, that is the best workbook you could ever do. It's practical exercises with yourself and your team to help you scale your business.
What is the secret? What is the secret of your success?
I think the secret of my success is learning from failure. Right? What I talked about there, right? And even in other companies too, is that we have an expression at one of my new actually, I should mention, today I run an incubator with 20 companies, okay? But probably my main company or one of my bigger companies, definitely in the top 3 is paw.com, PAW.com. It's an e-commerce company, and we have a saying at paw.com, it's test and fail more. Think about that, test and fail more, cut losers quickly, scale winners fast. So I know that sounds so basic, but when ego gets involved for entrepreneurs and different things happen, people begin to forget those basic rules. And when we follow that, we win. The other thing when we follow it at paw.com is when we create new and different products, we win. Let me tell you this, talk about failure. Like, here's one of them. We had 100-year supply of shampoo, dog shampoo at paw.com. And obviously, we weren't selling it, we weren't different, we're just another dog shampoo provider, and it wasn't working. We just came out with, last week, a Kickstarter, and you can check it out on paw.com. It's the outdoor dog bed. I mean, it's the first dog bed in the world where the water flows through it, not on it. It doesn't sit on it. It flows through it and dries instantly. And we invented this product. We took 3 years to invent the product, and it just took off. It's just already taking off. We invented the cooling blankets for dogs, indoor cooling blankets with some material that grabs the temperature of the ambient temperature of the room like a marble, but it's cloth. It's fascinating, actually. It's weird to touch, you know. Dogs love it, and it's cooling. We did cooling dog beds. We did the outdoor, travel memory foam travel car seats, two-seaters. We're the first to come out with a two-seater car seat for dogs. Even a three-seater we came out with for dogs as well. So when you think differently and you have your vision, you think differently, you launch a product, you win. When you're always trying to copy, it's always a race to the bottom for price. And there are models where you can win in those spaces, but it's very difficult. And so we tend to test and fail more, cut losers fast, and scale winners big.
Well, one of the popular subjects in our podcast is AI. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
Well, AI has been so transformative, and it's been part of my DNA for about 3 years now. I actually believe that, and I talk about this in chapter 3 of my book. Sorry, I've got a cold, but um, chapter 3 of my book, I talk about um, catching a tech wave, a paradigm wave. It's actually the name of my new book I'm working on right now is how to catch the next tech wave from uh, patterns of disruption from the internet, the advent of the internet to AI. And what we're seeing here with AI is the greatest paradigm shift ever in history, the greatest tech shift ever in history. It will mint more millionaires than any other technical shift we've ever seen. And we're starting to see the evidence of that. Just yesterday, I heard the statistic that in January of 2026, that startups, startup formations in the United States were up 36% over last year. And I know a lot of people are attributing that to AI and the ability for an entrepreneur, a startup, a solopreneur to be able to launch a company um, is now available. Like you can now do that using AI. Now you have to have an AI mindset here, okay? And when I say an AI mindset, I mean an AI mindset. I surround myself with every single AI I can possibly do. I live in the future. Like I've got Grok and I've got Gemini and I've got Claude and I've got ChatGPT. I've got all the paid memberships. I've got Mariko, the music. I'm surrounding myself with all these AI apps. And I used to say that entrepreneurs are jack of all trades, master of none. Now I've upgraded that to entrepreneurs are masters of all trade because of AI. And that's the world we live in now. We can do anything. We're only limited to our imagination, but we have to have an AI mindset and we've got to use AI in the right way. Now, you can never outsource the entrepreneur. This is important, Kevin. You know, I'm saying this now, but maybe 10 years, 20 years from now with AGI or whatever it is, that might not be the case. Okay. But for now, I've always said you can never outsource the entrepreneur. You've got to be the entrepreneur. So a couple weeks ago, I went into the AI and I said, "Go make me $1 million." And it said, "Well, I wish I could, but I can't." And then I said, "Okay, well, I have an idea for an app. Here's my idea. I've been thinking of it for 20 years, and blah blah blah. And how do I do it?" And then it said, "Perfect. Now we got something. Here's what you do on Claude AI. Do this, do this, do this. That creates the app. Here's how you market the app. Here's how you do this." So you can see right away that you have to have a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of that entrepreneurial mindset to go into starting a business. And that's what AI can do for you. It can take you as a solopreneur and make you $1 million. And the only question is if you want to do it. And part of it's you're only limited to your imagination. You're not limited to the technical abilities, whether or not you can code or not anymore. Now I know I'm not a coder, and it was still tricky, but I was able to literally take on Claude Code, a description. It produced the code, and it said put it into Xcode on Mac, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And it said, well, here's what you do. So I said, I did it. So I put it in Xcode, and I got an error. And it said, okay, well, I took a screenshot of this thing. I put it back into Claude. I said, look, I got an error. And it said, okay, I'll write to the new code. And it wrote me new code, and I sent it in. I got another. I got errored like 10 times in a row. After that, I had an app. I actually got an app out. I actually produced my first app in my life. And it took me about 2 hours, by the way. But you got to do this kind of stuff, and you got to push forward. And unfortunately, the AI, I had the $20 membership, and it asked me to upgrade to the $100 membership. So you do have to sometimes invest in this
Hmm.
kind of technology. But we're talking about stuff that is just mind blowing. Like this is it's changing the way we all think. It's changing the way we can make money, and there will be those who surround themselves with AI
Hmm.
and you know, run the world or make the millions of dollars, and there'll be those who put their heads in the sand and say, "Well, I just believe this is the way it should be done." Well, I'm telling you, no, it's not. It's this is transformative, and this is probably the most transformative period in our lifetime. I think this is bigger than the internet itself, and it will mint more millionaires than any other technology shift in history.
Role models. Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career journey
You
over
know,
the years?
ironically, there's been a few, like, I definitely am a big believer in reading books. Um, one of the books that I read in the 1990s was by a gentleman called Jeffrey Moore, who wrote Crossing the Chasm Inside the Tornado. And he was all about how do you catch that tech wave. And I had the opportunity to reach out to him. So I reached out to him and I interviewed him for the book, Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. He's included in chapter 3 of my book. And he's, we I'm not saying we're friends, but we do go back and forth. Even last month, he gave me his favorite movie for entrepreneurs. And he's been influential in my life because if you can sort of dissect a chasm and then the technology adoption curve, and he sort of redefined that. If you can dissect that into how do you survive during the chasm, then how do you pierce into the tornado, like a I call it like a laser beam. And I have a few different theories than he does, but one of the things that really, one of his statements that he makes and one of his theories is that when you do begin to enter a tornado like we are with AI right now, that whoever delivers the fastest wins. You hear what I said there? It's not about being the most accurate. It's whoever delivers the fastest wins. I also believe that, and I added this one in through my career over 25 years in tech adoption and whatnot. And that's the world I live in. That's why I've done, I think, so well as I've been able to adopt these technologies and launch them. Um, just getting over a cold. 10 days now. But is that the technology adoption? I've been able to succeed at it. Uh, and part of that is because I make it easy. That most people on this planet are technophobes. So make it easy. The path of least resistance. That's the second thing. And the third lesson I've learned, and we've got something similar. I call it the laser beam focus. That when you're in a chasm, focus on a particular laser beam and be the best of the world at it and win at it. Okay. Jeffrey, the bowling pin strategy, right? Where you target a particular bowling pin, you win at it, and then once you win at it, then you can extend. But too many entrepreneurs try to go into a tornado and try to suck it like a fire hose and get killed. Okay, you want to be the best in the world. It's one little niche. That's it, and then you can extend beyond that. Let's look at probably one of the best examples in history, Amazon. They became the best in the world at tornado. Tornado was the dial-up internet. They became the best in the world at selling books on the internet. That's it. Now they sell a heck of a lot more than books today, don't they? Do you even think of Amazon as a bookseller? I mean, you might be too young to remember them as being just a bookseller, but
I
that's
remember.
you remember. Okay, I'm just
Yes.
you look very young to me, but
Thank
uh,
you.
but you know what? That's what I'm talking about. Like today, they run everything, but you gotta if you're gonna win in a storm, they're a perfect example of someone who focused like a laser beam, won their niche, and then began to take on other niches, and that's exactly what you can do in the AI. Now, a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's too late because the AI has already happened and whatnot." No, no, do not say that. Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook in 2006. It was like 15 years after the World Wide Web. Okay, like this, it's not too late here. right? AI really took off with ChatGPT 3.5 3 years ago. And now we're seeing a lot of sub shocks, a lot of sub AIs from music to it doesn't, from so many different areas, video creation. Um, we're seeing what I call sub shocks in the market, and there are going to be opportunities around each one of those waves. Each sub shock creates a new wave, and there'll be opportunities around those waves. But you got to keep your eyes open for here. You got to be aware of what's coming down the pipe. And if you're aware of it, then you can position yourself for it and actually make a lot of money from it. So there's never been a better time in history to become an entrepreneur.
Key career lesson. Is there a key career lesson that you learned the hard way that you can share with us?
So our we'll say that again. Key career lesson
Yes.
I
Yes.
learned the hard way.
Yes.
I think I hit that one. Liquidity or control. I lost $100 million when I was young because I sold a company and I didn't have control of the company, and I never had liquidity. I had an 18-month lockup. And so nowadays, like if I ever try to exit a company, I'm like, I will not do that unless I have liquidity or control. So I don't know how, like you can't, help create $1 billion company, have it collapse and not learn a lesson from that. And I think that's the key lesson I learned.
We have a little tradition in the American business podcast. I have a question for you coming from our previous guest. And after that, I'll ask you to leave a question with me here in this episode, and I'll ask the question to our coming guest, if that's okay. Okay, the question from our previous guest is, what is one strategic decision that you made at your company that increases your organization's resiliency?
The resiliency. Okay. So chapter 4 in the book is about creating a moat. And you can scale your business, but if you don't have a defensive mentality, you can lose your business. Okay, let me give you an example. At paw.com, we design and create all our own dog beds, dog blankets, dog car seats, all that stuff. And it's best in the world, best in class. They're all original designs. We even pioneered a whole new category called dog bed rugs. Um, and there was a company that tried to copy us and went into Costco. And because we had a patent on it, we were able to send a letter, and we had them removed from Costco. Okay. We've done the same on Amazon, where we had a lot of competitors. You want to, resiliency, like it's all about coming back when you get hit, right? So why don't you come back before you get hit? Why don't you protect yourself? Why don't you try to create the moat? The best ways to create a moat in a business are one. I talked about those legal methods, patents, trademarks, those kind of things. Um, Distribution, have more distribution than anybody else. Because once you have the distribution, then if someone tries to come in, it's like, oh, I've already got a company that does that, right? So I have more distribution than anyone else. Like at paw.com, we have Wayfair, Chewy, um, Walmart, Amazon, like you name it. We've got almost every e-commerce retailer right there carrying our products. Okay, so we've got the distribution. Um, then the next is brand, and I think at paw.com, that's another good example that we have a brand. We have a great domain name, paw.com, and we have a brand. And with that brand, what we can do is offer products and services that even on Amazon you can't get, even our competitors you can't get. Because so now we have this defensibility. So for me, it's about if you want to be resilient, try to do it before the bad stuff happens, right? Try to like protect yourself before that happens.
This is great. Well, very informative. Okay, well, what is your question for our next guest?
Well, my question for the next guest is now a great time to launch a startup, and why?
Okay, okay. I love this question. I'll make sure to ask, and please watch us for the next episode. I like it. Okay, well, do you have any question for me in this episode?
I want to get your opinion on AI. I think you came at me there, and I thought that was good. But you're in tech. You're a tech background,
Yes.
and I'd like to really understand from your perspective how you think that AI can help startups.
Yes, I think the AI is a fascinating subject, and I talk to different organizations. Small businesses are really interested in AI because they like to benefit from the technology, and for startups as well. So it's a pretty young industry within the technology as a sub industry. I must say the sector, and there's a lot to do. And just like you mentioned, so it started with these AI agents, LLMs, and now we are seeing the niche ones. These are some ideas. So we will see more of them, I think. So I think this is a great industry, great subsector within technology to start a startup. Um, I'm sure there is more to do. There is no doubt about it. So which one is going to really scale and really exit to your expertise is remains to be seen. They need to take the right steps, and we'll see how it's going to go. However, in general, this is a fascinating field to start a startup. And in terms of businesses, established businesses, small and mid-sized businesses in US, which they are the backbone of US economy fundamentally, this is a great opportunity for them. AI brings them. This used to be a Fortune 500 technology, really, like was really almost impossible to get this technology and implement it in small businesses. So now this is accessible, this is affordable, this is practical. So small businesses, they can really revolutionize their businesses. The evolution of their business can take a really positive turn. So I talk to different business groups all the time, very often. A couple of weeks ago, I was invited to a group of business owners, small and mid-sized businesses, established businesses. They are not startups, and they are interested in AI and AI technology and how they can implement it. So um, I made a presentation in general. It's an education presentation, and I really appreciated the question that I got from these business owners and the interest that they have. So the AI is here to stay, and it's going to really shape the businesses, especially small and mid-sized businesses in US. And that's a great opportunity to utilize AI in a business, and also for startups. I mean, I'm sure there are many other ways to utilize AI for different startups. That's how it looks. It's a fascinating conversation. Absolutely, I love it, and I'm glad that you asked that question. Okay, well, what is your career advice for the next generation professionals?
My career advice is surround yourself with um, the future. I know we talk a lot about AI, but there's a lot of other technological paradigm shifts that are occurring out here. Again, I talk about this in chapter 3 in the book, but we list actually a lot of them, including AI in the book. Uh, but you'd be surprised. Like I've done in businesses around Airbnb, which the sharing economy that have done extremely well, just based on the shift in one particular island in Florida that um, never used to have Airbnb on it. Now it's 75% Airbnb, and I position myself with real estate around that. So it doesn't always have to be this revolutionary concept that you come up with. But when you want to live in the future, we want to absorb the future, we want to be aware of the future. I do believe that AI is the future, and I think surrounding yourself with that. Don't cheap out and not pay for the AIs. Like at least get your $20 membership on ChatGPT, whatever it is. But for me, I surround myself with every potential AI I can possibly do, and I keep doing it. We come out with a newsletter once a month on Startup Club, startup.club, and we have an AI tip of the month. Last month was about the LLMs, Notebook LLM, and doing infographics, just phenomenal infographics you can create. And this doesn't cost you anything to do this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And it allows you to repurpose content and what kind with in an infographic form. That was just one example, but the reality is, surround yourself with AI, get involved in the startup culture, join startup.club, sign up to our email list. We have a phenomenal masterclass email that comes out once a month. It really is incredible. Uh, and if you haven't already done so, I know many of may have all you read it. Many of your listeners probably have already bought the book, Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. But go out there and buy the book. We also came out with the workbook for Start, which I've said is it's a basic workbook, but has you got GPTs, mini AIs within that, and today we just came out with a scale workbook too to help you scale your businesses. So surround yourself. with that, the future and knowledge, and go frickin' make $1 million.
I love it. Well, for those who like to continue this conversation with you, what is the best way that they can learn about your company and get in touch with you?
Probably the best way is there's a couple ways, but one is go to startup.club, sign up to our email list, and you'll be connected. We also, I do a live show on Clubhouse, a little different than podcast. I don't know if you remember Clubhouse, but we have almost 1 million members in our club at startup.club. And we do a live show every Friday, 2:00 Eastern, and every Thursday at 5:00 Eastern. We do 2 different shows that I'm involved with. My main show is Friday at 2:00 Eastern. It's the same name, the show's the same name, but you can also listen to the podcast. It's called Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat, Serial Entrepreneur Secrets Revealed. But also LinkedIn, just go look LinkedIn, Colin C. Campbell. I love connecting with people. I love to get feedback on the book. I love to hear about startup stories. And one thing about our show, it's a little bit different on Clubhouse, is that we encourage people to come on stage and share their stories and ask questions. It's sort of like a mini radio. It's like a neat concept. It's different than podcast. We take a whole different sort of approach to it, where it's a community that gets involved to help everybody else in the community who have questions. And if you have expertise, you can share that with the community.
Yeah, this is really exciting, very constructive. Thank you for letting us know. And also, thank you very much for being with us in the American Business Podcast. And thank you for sharing your professional insights and professional wisdom with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to our audience and to our listeners, we'll be right back after a short break. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit, Reddit for Business. Reddit has more than 400 million weekly visitors. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable. Reddit is the #1 source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on. When you spend $500, you'll get $500 in ad credit from Reddit. True story. I am a Reddit user. Anytime I need feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit. I get the real answers, real feedback from real people, from Reddit communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising for your business. Get the visibility for your company, your products and services. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Would you like to start your business podcast? We are here to help. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I am the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. When we started the American Business Podcast on February 28, 2025, we had only one mission in mind: to promote, support, and uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the American business community. Within our first 6 months, we managed to pass 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and we received YouTube Silver Award. This is an important award. It shows our dedication to American business and to the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and American Business Podcast community. Now you can have your own branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. You can promote your company, your products, your services, and you'll have instant visibility in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and followers. You can promote your company, your products and services. You can educate and inspire businesses and individuals. More importantly, you can tell your story, your brand story. How did you get started? What makes you different? And how you are helping your customers and communities. As you know, in the American Business Podcast, I've been talking to more than 100 American businesses. Each business has a story that is inspiring and motivational. I know your business also has a great story which is motivational and inspiring. It is time for you to have your business podcast within the American Business Podcast Network. We help you start your business podcast and we help you grow your business. This is a great opportunity for you to be visible in the marketplace in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers and subscribers. And this is a great opportunity for us to fulfill our mission to promote, support, and uplift American businesses. Please send us an email and let's get the conversation started. It is paas@americanpodcast.tv. Business podcasting as a service, powered by the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast is America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, working with you, and help you grow your business with your new business podcast. Thank you very much. Support for the show comes from Yelp. You know, I've been talking to more than 100 business owners in the American Business Podcast. Do you know the biggest problem for small businesses nowadays? It is visibility. That is why you should sign up and list your business on Yelp for Business. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, the form will show up on your screen and you can sign up on the registration form. It comes with free trial with no obligation. Make it easy for your customers to find you. Do you know there are more than 70 million customers visiting Yelp website looking for services from businesses just like yours, restaurants, home services, professional services, and many other businesses are being searched on Yelp on daily basis. That's a great opportunity. If you list your business on Yelp, you'll be findable, searchable, and you'll be visible. When you are visible, when your customers are able to find you, you're in business. You can get opportunities, you can get leads, you can build a healthy and profitable pipeline. Consider Yelp for Business. Scan the QR code, sign up, and start your free trial. It comes with free trial. Very comfortable, no obligation. List your business and start getting the results and enjoy the benefits of Yelp Business. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Baker. It is time to digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps designed for small and mid-sized companies as well as enterprise-level companies to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I'd like to talk about one of the Anywhere apps that's very popular in the US. It is called Nonprofit Management Anywhere. If you are a nonprofit and you like to manage your donations, volunteers, fundraising events, your grants, and other documents for compliance and operational purposes, consider Nonprofit Management Anywhere. It is a completely cloud service. You can start using it today with no need for local installation on your server or on your local laptop and computers. It is user-friendly and it's easy to deploy, and you can start using it today. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about Anywhere apps, including nonprofit management anywhere. Well, there is more. If you'd like to talk to me directly about Anywhere apps, you can just send me an email directly, kevin@kerconsulting.com. Anywhere apps are modern, they are easy to use, they are affordable, practical, and more importantly, that's designed for you to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Scan the QR code or just send me a direct email, kevin@kerconsulting.com. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Office Virtual Offices. Office is offering you more than 600 different locations in the US. It is $99 a month. This includes prestigious business address, professional live call answering, personalized call transferring, business phone number, local phone number, professional mail services, voicemail converted to email. I have the QR code on the screen. You can sign up for Opus today. Opus is offering you hundreds of locations in the US that you can pick, any of them that you like, and you can start having your virtual office today. Please scan the QR code and start using Opus Virtual Offices today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Just Answer. Real help from real experts 24/7. Experts such as lawyers, doctors, veterinarians, computer technicians, home improvement experts, mechanics, personal tax experts, computer technicians, and many other experts are available for you 24/7 on Just Answer. You'll get your answers anytime, during the day, during the night, 24/7, and you'll get your answers from reliable sources. You can scan the QR code on the screen and you can sign up for Just Answer. The answers you need at a price that is right. Scan the QR code and sign up for Just Answer today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Brother. From large companies to small offices, Brother has powerful printers and all-in-ones for your growing business. Scan the QR code and find the best printers for your needs. When you scan the QR code, you can see the entire collection, business office equipment collection of Brother USA, and pick the one that you like. You'll find printers, labels, toners, all-in-ones, and other office equipment available on Brother website when you scan the QR code. Scan the QR code and start shopping for Brother office equipment today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Invicta watches. Invicta watches are known for their stylish design for men, women, as well as for unisex watches. When you scan the QR code on the screen, it will take to their online store and you can start shopping right away. When you go to the Invicta store website, you'll see watches in different collections for men, for women, different colors, different designs, as well as different sizes. There are hundreds of watches that you can see and you can pick from. Because it's end of the year, you'll also enjoy the benefits of their end of the year promotions and discounts. True story, I'm an Invicta fan. I've been using Invicta for many years. I have more than 10 Invicta watches in my wardrobe. This is one of them that I like. The style is pretty cool. I use these pretty much weekly basis. I have another one that I use on my wrist. This one is pretty cool. This one is called Shutter. I can change the case just by turning the buttons, and I can have different style of watches pretty much every day. Because it's pretty business looking, I can actually wear this with my business outfit as well. Please scan the QR code and start shopping today. I'm sure you'll like Invicta watches. They have great styles and different colors as well as different technologies such as quartz, mechanical, automatic, and other watches are also available for your liking and for your choice. Please scan the QR code and start shopping today. Thank you very much for your support. It is time to sign up for the online monthly networking event, networking and podcasting together. It is called Connection America Business Alliance, partnered and powered by the American Business Podcast. During this unique business networking event, you'll be able to meet with other business professionals. At the same time, you will be in the American Business Podcast in front of thousands of business-minded YouTube subscribers, viewers, and listeners of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. Connection America online monthly networking events are interactive. You'll be able to meet with other seasoned business professionals, and at the same time, you'll be able to interact with viewers and audience. That's a unique event. It is because it's podcasting plus networking. If you are in business, you should be networking. And if you're not networking, you are losing business every single day. That is why we created online monthly networking event called Connection America Business Alliance, CABA in short. Scan this QR code and sign up today. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the list of coming monthly online networking events. Pick the one that works for you and sign up. We have limited seating, and today is the great day to sign up for online business networking event. Networking plus podcasting. That is a unique online business networking opportunity. You can introduce yourself, your products and services, and you'll be able to network with other business professionals live on the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up today. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your support.